Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to listen closely to what I'm about to say. Life, as beautiful as it is, can be a battlefield. Not every smile is genuine, not every handshake is clean, and not every heart is as pure as yours. See, some of you have been conditioned to believe that kindness is your greatest strength. And don't get me wrong, it can be. But the harsh truth is, if you're kind to the wrong people, they will take that kindness and turn it into a weapon. Kindness is often viewed as one of the greatest virtues a person can possess. It's the foundation of strong relationships, a key to personal fulfillment, and a powerful tool for creating positive change in the world. However, as much as kindness can be a strength, it can also be a double-edged sword. Without proper boundaries, kindness can quickly turn into a vulnerability. People who are too kind without knowing when to say no or set limits often find themselves drained, disrespected, and taken advantage of. The idea that kindness should be unconditional, without a line in the sand, is not only unrealistic but also dangerous. When we give without limits, we open ourselves to potential harm. Imagine someone who constantly offers their time, energy, or resources to others, but never takes the time to prioritize their own needs. Over time, this pattern of self-sacrifice leads to exhaustion. The individual might become resentful, feeling used or unappreciated. It's easy to see how this can happen. When kindness is offered freely without thought for its impact on ourselves, it creates an imbalance in relationships. The giver becomes depleted, and the receiver becomes accustomed to receiving without giving back, sometimes without even realizing the toll it's taking. People may not always intend to take advantage of someone's kindness, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. In some situations, the people we offer our kindness to may not recognize the cost involved. They might take our generosity for granted, expecting it as a given rather than something that requires mutual respect. In these cases, the lack of boundaries can allow us to be exploited. Others might push us further than we are willing to go, because we've taught them that we won't say no, no matter the circumstances. Without boundaries, we fail to communicate our limits, and those around us may inadvertently cross them. Setting boundaries doesn't make us unkind or selfish, it makes us healthy. It's essential for maintaining a strong sense of self-worth and for ensuring that we don't lose sight of our own needs in the face of others' demands. Boundaries protect our time, our energy, and our emotional well-being. When we make the conscious decision to set limits, we are also making a decision to respect ourselves. We understand that we have needs and that it's okay to put ourselves first when necessary. By drawing the line, we prevent others from taking more than what is fair or healthy. The key to setting boundaries while still maintaining kindness is balance. We don't have to choose between being compassionate and protecting ourselves. It's about finding the middle ground where we can continue to offer our kindness, but only when it is appropriate and not at the expense of our well-being. Setting a boundary might mean saying no to a request that doesn't align with your priorities or energy levels. It might mean withdrawing from a relationship that is consistently one-sided. And it might mean standing firm when someone asks for more than you are able or willing to give. When we create boundaries in our lives, we also foster more meaningful, reciprocal relationships. Healthy boundaries encourage mutual respect. They help others understand that our time and energy are valuable and that we expect the same level of consideration in return. This doesn't mean we stop being kind, but rather that we offer our kindness in ways that are sustainable and respectful of ourselves. By drawing the line, we ensure that our relationships are based on trust and mutual care, not on the exploitation of our good nature. Without boundaries, kindness can become an exhausting cycle. The more we give, the less we have for ourselves. Over time, this can lead to resentment, burnout, and frustration. But when we set clear limits, we protect ourselves from those negative outcomes. We make it clear to others that our kindness is not infinite. It's a gift, and like all gifts, it deserves to be cherished and respected. The truth is, kindness doesn't have to come at the expense of our mental, emotional, or physical well-being. It's possible to be kind and still set boundaries. When we learn to do this, we become stronger individuals, able to give from a place of abundance rather than depletion. We protect ourselves while still remaining open to others. That's the true power of kindness, knowing when to give and when to hold back, always maintaining our own integrity and self-respect. Understand that kindness is not about being limitless, it's about being wise. By recognizing when to draw the line, we ensure that our kindness remains a source of strength, not weakness. Recognizing exploitation is one of the most important skills you can develop in navigating the complex world of relationships, both personal and professional. Exploitation is often subtle and comes disguised as affection, care, or even gratitude. The people who exploit others rarely advertise their intentions. Instead, they prey on the kindness, goodwill, and trust that others offer them. Recognizing when you're being exploited is not always easy, but it's crucial to your emotional well-being, self-respect, and overall sense of justice. The first step in understanding exploitation is learning to identify the red flags, both in others' actions and in your own responses. Exploitation can take many forms. It may begin with a person constantly asking for your time, your resources, or your emotional energy without offering anything in return. At first, it may seem harmless: a friend asking for help, a colleague needing a favor, or a family member who relies on you for support. You offer assistance because you care, and it feels good to help. But over time, the requests become more frequent, more demanding, and less considerate. The person asking for your help never seems to return the favor, and their requests often take priority over your own needs. You find yourself drained, exhausted, and with nothing left for yourself. This is when the line between helping and being exploited begins to blur. At its core, exploitation involves an imbalance of power and a lack of reciprocity. In healthy relationships, there's a mutual exchange of support, respect, and effort. However, when exploitation enters the picture, one person is consistently taking more than they give. They may not be overtly malicious, but their behavior continues to drain you, often leaving you with feelings of resentment or guilt when you try to draw boundaries. You might feel guilty for not being able to meet every demand or for putting your own needs first, but that's exactly what the person who's exploiting you wants. They want you to feel guilty, to feel responsible for their happiness or well-being, to make you believe that their requests are more important than your own needs. The emotional manipulation that accompanies exploitation is another crucial sign to look for. When you are being exploited, you may notice that the person uses your feelings against you. They may guilt trip you into doing things for them, using phrases like, "I thought you cared about me," or "If you loved me, you would help me." These emotional appeals are designed to bypass your rational thinking and play on your sense of duty and compassion. When you say no or try to set boundaries, they might become angry, distant, or passive-aggressive, making you feel as though you're doing something wrong. The manipulation often leaves you questioning your own judgment, which is exactly what the exploiter wants. They need you to doubt yourself so that you'll continue to give in. Another form of exploitation can be seen in relationships where one person continuously takes credit for things that you've done, or takes advantage of your hard work without acknowledging it. This can happen in professional settings, where a colleague might take credit for your ideas or your efforts, or even in personal relationships where your contributions go unnoticed. Over time, this can erode your sense of self-worth. You may feel like your value is tied to how much you can give to others, and if your efforts are unappreciated or unreciprocated, it can leave you feeling invisible and insignificant. Recognizing exploitation also involves understanding how it affects you physically and mentally. When you're being exploited, you may notice increased levels of stress, anxiety, or even physical exhaustion. You might start to dread interactions with the person who is exploiting you, knowing that you'll be asked for something yet again. This constant emotional drain can impact your health, your mood, and your overall well-being. Exploitation, especially when it's continuous, can lead to burnout, resentment, and, in the worst cases, a loss of your sense of self. You may find yourself giving and giving with nothing left in return until you're so depleted that you don't recognize who you've become. The difficulty in recognizing exploitation often lies in the fact that the person exploiting you may present themselves as a victim. They might frame their requests as urgent, important, or life-changing. They might exaggerate their struggles to elicit sympathy, making it difficult for you to say no without feeling like you're abandoning them. But it's essential to recognize that just because someone is in need doesn't mean you're obligated to meet every need at the expense of your own well-being. Being a compassionate person doesn't mean sacrificing yourself entirely for someone else's benefit. Exploitation thrives in environments where boundaries are not respected, where self-care is undervalued, and where people are conditioned to put others' needs first. It is a toxic cycle that can continue as long as the exploited person continues to enable it, often out of a sense of obligation or guilt. But once you become aware of the signs of exploitation, you gain the power to take control of the situation. You can start to recognize when your kindness, time, and energy are being used against you. By setting boundaries, practicing self-respect, and acknowledging your own needs, you can break free from the cycle of exploitation and protect yourself from further harm.
Self-respect is one of the most powerful and fundamental elements of a fulfilling life. It is the foundation upon which all other forms of healthy relationships and personal achievements are built. Without self-respect, it is easy to fall into patterns of self-doubt, self-neglect, and allowing others to treat you poorly. When you lack respect for yourself, you may struggle to set boundaries, make decisions that are in your best interest, or maintain your sense of self-worth in the face of challenges. At its core, self-respect is about valuing who you are, embracing your worth, and treating yourself with the same care and consideration that you would give to others. The importance of self-respect can never be overstated. It governs the way we interact with the world and dictates how we allow others to treat us. People who respect themselves are more likely to set boundaries that protect their time, energy, and emotional well-being. They are more confident in their decisions, knowing that their choices reflect their values and self-worth. This sense of inner value enables them to make decisions that promote their growth, happiness, and overall well-being. When you have self-respect, you are more likely to engage in relationships that are positive and reciprocal. You will attract people who appreciate you for who you are, rather than people who take advantage of your kindness or manipulate your vulnerabilities. This is because self-respect communicates to others that you value yourself and that any relationship with you must be based on mutual respect and care. Without self-respect, you may find yourself in toxic relationships where your needs are consistently ignored, your boundaries are crossed, and your efforts go unappreciated. Self-respect allows you to recognize these unhealthy dynamics early on and walk away from them before they cause irreversible harm. Self-respect is a crucial aspect of personal development. It empowers you to pursue your goals and dreams with conviction without being swayed by the opinions or expectations of others. When you respect yourself, you are not afraid to take risks, make mistakes, or fail because you know that these experiences do not define your worth. You understand that growth is a process and setbacks are a natural part of that process. You are willing to face challenges head-on, knowing that you have the strength and resilience to overcome them. Without self-respect, you may struggle to stay committed to your goals, as you might question whether you are worthy of success or feel like you are undeserving of achieving your dreams. Self-respect also plays a critical role in how we manage our emotions. When you respect yourself, you are more in tune with your feelings and better able to navigate difficult emotions such as anger, fear, or sadness. You are less likely to suppress your emotions or deny your needs in order to please others. Instead, you acknowledge your emotions, process them in healthy ways, and express them in a manner that respects both yourself and those around you. This emotional intelligence, fueled by self-respect, allows you to build stronger, more authentic relationships, as you are able to communicate your feelings clearly and assertively without fear of judgment or rejection. Self-respect doesn't mean being arrogant or self-centered. It's not about thinking you are better than others, but about recognizing that you deserve to be treated with dignity and consideration. It involves understanding your worth and ensuring that others treat you with the same respect that you give to them. Self-respect also means making decisions that honor your own well-being, even when it might be difficult or unpopular. It requires standing firm in your values and choosing actions that reflect your beliefs, even when others may try to persuade you otherwise. When you maintain self-respect, you live a life that is authentic and aligned with your true self. Self-respect is closely tied to self-care. Taking care of your physical, mental, and emotional health is an essential part of respecting yourself. This means setting aside time for rest, engaging in activities that promote your well-being, and seeking help when needed. It means not tolerating behavior that undermines your health or peace of mind, whether that means cutting out toxic relationships, leaving a job that is draining you, or addressing harmful habits. Self-respect compels you to prioritize your needs and protect your energy, because you recognize that your well-being is crucial for your ability to function in the world and pursue your goals. Self-respect requires self-forgiveness. It means acknowledging your mistakes and learning from them without berating yourself or letting guilt weigh you down. It is about accepting that you are imperfect, that you will make mistakes, but that these mistakes do not diminish your inherent value. By forgiving yourself and allowing room for growth, you create space for greater self-love and acceptance. Self-respect is about embracing all parts of who you are, your strengths, your flaws, your successes, and your failures, and realizing that each aspect is part of the journey toward becoming the best version of yourself. In every area of life, self-respect serves as a guiding light, helping you navigate challenges, make better choices, and live a life that is true to who you are. It enables you to stand firm in your beliefs, pursue your passions, and protect your peace. Without self-respect, it is easy to fall into patterns of self-doubt, indecisiveness, and toxic relationships. But when you respect yourself, you set the foundation for a life filled with confidence, purpose, and fulfillment. Kindness is often seen as a gentle, soft quality, something associated with compassion, patience, and empathy. However, there is an undeniable strength in kindness that is often overlooked. Kindness is not about being passive or weak. It's not about letting others take advantage of you or remaining silent in the face of injustice. Instead, it is a powerful force that requires courage, resilience, and inner strength. The strength in kindness lies in its ability to maintain grace and empathy, even in the most challenging situations. It allows you to stand firm in your values while spreading positivity and understanding, even when faced with negativity or adversity. At its core, kindness is an active choice. It requires you to be intentional in your actions and thoughts, choosing to be considerate and helpful, even when it may not be convenient or easy. Kindness demands self-control, as it asks you to rise above your own emotions and respond to others with empathy, even when you might be feeling frustrated, angry, or hurt. It's a choice to respond with love instead of hatred, to forgive instead of holding grudges, and to extend a hand instead of turning away. This requires immense inner strength because it involves exercising emotional intelligence and resisting the temptation to react impulsively or out of spite. Kindness is often tested in the face of adversity. It's easy to be kind when things are going well, but true strength in kindness is revealed when you are dealing with difficult people or tough circumstances. When you encounter someone who is rude, hostile, or indifferent, the natural response might be to meet their behavior with the same energy. However, choosing to respond with kindness in these situations requires emotional resilience. It means not letting someone else's negativity drag you down or cloud your ability to respond with grace. It takes great strength to remain calm and compassionate, especially when faced with aggression or hostility, but this is exactly when kindness has the most impact. In these moments, your ability to be kind becomes a powerful tool for diffusing tension, promoting understanding, and fostering peace. Another aspect of the strength in kindness is its ability to heal. Kindness can mend broken hearts, restore relationships, and lift people up in their darkest moments. It's easy to assume that strength comes from harshness or toughness, but in reality, the strongest individuals are often those who can offer comfort, support, and encouragement to others. Kindness has the power to show people that they are valued, that they matter, and that they are not alone in their struggles. When you extend kindness, you provide others with the emotional strength they need to keep going, even when life feels overwhelming. It's a reminder that even in a world that can sometimes feel cold or indifferent, compassion can bring warmth and hope. Kindness requires vulnerability, and vulnerability is often considered a sign of strength, not weakness. It's difficult to be open, to offer support, and to show care without exposing yourself emotionally. But in being kind, you risk showing others your true self, the part of you that is open, compassionate, and empathetic. By being vulnerable in your kindness, you build deeper connections with others and create opportunities for mutual support. This vulnerability and kindness can lead to meaningful relationships built on trust, respect, and understanding. It takes great strength to allow yourself to be vulnerable, to trust that your kindness will be met with understanding, and to believe that showing care is never a waste. Kindness also requires the strength to set boundaries. Many people confuse kindness with being a pushover or allowing others to walk all over them. But true kindness involves knowing when to say no, when to protect yourself, and when to stand up for what is right. It's not about sacrificing your own well-being for the sake of others. In fact, practicing kindness means recognizing your own needs and maintaining a healthy balance between giving and receiving. It takes strength to assert yourself and to set boundaries with people who might take advantage of your kindness. By doing so, you not only protect yourself, but also ensure that your kindness remains genuine and sustainable. Kindness can be a catalyst for positive change. It has the power to shift the tone of an entire situation, influence others, and create a ripple effect of goodwill. When you act with kindness, you demonstrate leadership and set an example for others to follow. It's a reminder that even in a world that can sometimes feel divided or harsh, there is always room for empathy and compassion. Kindness can inspire others to be kinder, to act with more empathy, and to create a more supportive environment for everyone. This collective effort, when multiplied, can lead to greater unity, understanding, and positive transformation in communities, workplaces, and even in society at large. Kindness is one of the most powerful forces in the world. It takes strength to be kind, especially when others may not be kind to you. It requires resilience, courage, and emotional intelligence to remain compassionate in the face of adversity. Yet, in offering kindness, you create connections, heal wounds, and influence positive change. Kindness is not a sign of weakness. It is a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the profound impact that compassion can have on the world around us.